Sassa crisis unveiled a disorganized institution. Is Bathabile Dlamini fit to hold public office? What are the relevant stakeholders supposed to do within the next 12 months? And why has Sassa compromised personal information of grant recipients? What time is it? It's question time. Hello and welcome to the show. My name is Mpotse. On Friday, the Constitutional Court ruled that the Social Security Agency and Cash Paymaster Services must continue paying social grants until another entity that can do so is found. CPS will continue paying the grants over the next 12 months amid rather stringent conditions that include the protection of the confidential data of beneficiaries. Social Development Minister Bathabile Dlamini has until March 31 to say why she should not be joined to the proceedings and why she should not foot the bill for the court application. President Jacob Zuma, meanwhile, will now head the Interministerial Committee on Social Grants, while Public Protector Busiwe Mkhwebane is set to probe the matter, focusing on the maladministration aspect. We are live. Therefore, you can call us, air your views. The numbers to dial 0891104210. Our Twitter handle at QuestionTime24. My guest today, Paseka Letsatsi, is the spokesperson of Sassa, and from our Sea Point Cape Town studios, Elroy Paulos is the advocacy manager of Black Sash. As you would remember, they are in that case as well. But before we get into the discussion, let's have a look at what the president had to say about the Sassa debacle.
I am going to chair that committee now so that I can see to it that everything that is supposed to be done is done. I am going to be asking even the department itself to report on a regular basis what is happening, how far they are going with the arrangements of putting up a tender, if it is a tender, so that it is done properly. It's now we are taking it very closer to us to ensure that we don't have another anxiety, as it were.
Okay, that was President Jacob Zuma committing to lead and chair the Interministerial Committee on Comprehensive Social Security to ensure that the Constitutional Court order concerning the payment of grants is well executed. Gentlemen, welcome to the show. Paseka, well, I guess a sigh of relief after the Constitutional Court said CPS can continue to pay. We didn't expect them to come up with anything else. We knew that they know and understand that it would create a very serious crisis. But you buckled up.
Good afternoon, Pa, and good afternoon to the viewers at home as well. Not necessarily. I think we do welcome the decision by the Concord because we think we can be able to work on certain things in ensuring that we have a very strong administration of the social grant. But I can assure you that come 1st of April 2017, all 17 million beneficiaries of social grant will be paid.
No, I don't think there's a doubt. I don't think people doubt that they are going to be paid. And I mean, there was nobody even means their words, not even the president, nor the minister. Nobody ever said, you know what, people are not going to be paid. I guess, well, politics was coming into play. We knew that somehow government couldn't afford not to pay those. But I'm saying you guys messed up. I mean, there was no need to create this crisis.
Not necessarily, Mpo. I think one must make mention of the fact that pre-2006, we had a fragmented system in terms of social grant payment. We actually had a situation where payment of social grant was fragmented, was solely the responsibilities of provinces. And through the formation of the South African Social Security Agency in 2006, in April, we had this standardized, we had everything combined together. However, you must understand that the tender, yes, was advertised in 2012. There was a Concord decision which was taken. in terms of the invalidity of the contract. However, what I need to mention, Mpo, is that the invalidity part of it was suspended, hence why we were able to pay. But I think I must make mention of the fact that we did advertise a tender as we promised to the Concord, and unfortunately only 3 companies responded, and all of them, in terms of the capacity to deliver social grant, the standards were very low. And unfortunately, as an organization, we, in terms of how we have come so far, we were not willing to lower the standard.
Was the post office amongst those?
Let me not mention the names, but I can assure that post office was not part of the 3 companies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Given all this debacle, do you think that you are led?
We are led.
Yes.
No,
do you have leadership?
No, we do, Mpo. I'm convinced that we've got a very capable leadership, but you must understand, Mpo, the space which we operate within. We have competing business interests. We have all particular interests in terms of focusing on what as an organization we are doing. Hence, we'll have this particular attention all over the country, people causing panic and so on. And we understand that because of this particular competing business interest, we'll have this particular anxiety which people will cause.
Black Sash, let me bring you in here. Well, you were part of the case, and I guess you got partly what you wanted. Are you satisfied? Maybe that's the word to use. Are you satisfied that, yes, the grants are going to be paid for the next 12 months, but, well, they're going to be paid by CPS?
Thank you, Mpo. We were the applicant in the court matter, and we got what we asked for from the court and more. We were pleasantly surprised that there were additional requirements in terms of the minister, as Paseka has indicated, having to give an account why she should not be liable. There was the additional provision of independent monitoring. We called for 4 things. They were that the supervisory jurisdiction of the Constitutional Court over Sassa be reinstated, which was granted. We asked that the information is owned by Sassa, and that is a controversial point, which, if we are provided the opportunity, we can expand on. We asked that Cash Pay Master Services in particular does not benefit or are allowed to use direct marketing specifically targeted at SASSA beneficiaries to continue with the deductions. And we were very surprised that all the provisions were granted by the Constitutional Court in addition to the other ones outlined. So we are more than happy with what has happened. Our initial press statement said we've won the case, but the battle is certainly not over. Okay. We have to be vigilant along with civil society for the next few days, in particular the 1st of April, to make sure that these grants are paid, and paid in a manner that is legal, acceptable, with no deductions.
Okay. Nathan, you are in Swellendam. Welcome.
Hi. Good evening, Mpo. How are you?
I'm well. Thanks for the call.
Man, this saga of Sassa, you know, my mother is also getting a pension.
Yes.
And they deduct every month 300 Rand for airtime and for electricity. And my mother even haven't got a cell phone, and she did not even get any electricity from Sassa. But as I've seen now, the other night, the president said there must be evidence. The whole rural area here in the Western Cape can show him evidence, if you want some evidence, that Sassa was stealing our people's money, you know. Okay. And I think that they must all be locked up on the top structure.
Nathan, thank you very much. How did you as Sassa get to a point where, like you're saying, grannies and opas monies were docked for electricity and airtime without their consent?
And I think we are happy, Mpo. I think Elroy knows as well that they've been pushing this particular matter for because they are a very important stakeholder in terms of the work that we do on a daily basis. we do welcome that particular support from Black Sash. But you must understand, Mpo, that we are happy that the Concord has pronounced on this matter. We passed the regulations to make sure that this particular thing does not happen. However, we were challenged in court and so on and so on. And I think finally we are very happy that the Concord has taken a decision that...
Who was challenging you?
There are companies which were challenging in terms of whether we are allowed to, if we operate within the national payment system, there are certain things which we allow, because that particular card which we use, it can be used, it's an open system, and it can be able to be abused by anybody. I mean, if there are certain loopholes, other people can be able to abuse the situation, you know. But unfortunately, the Concord has pronounced in terms of protecting the personal data of our beneficiaries. And we are very happy that we'd have a situation where people don't come to us and complain that their money has been deducted and so on. But having said that, I think one of the problems which we have been experiencing, and I think Elroy also knows about them, is a situation where you find that people get subjected to loan sharks and so on. And those are some of the things which we need to make sure as an organization that we close the loopholes and make sure that the beneficiaries get even the last cent which is expected for them to get.
Okay. Sizakele, you are in Gauteng. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Tekwen. How are you, baby boy? Yes, you are speaking to Sizakele from Katlehong. You know what, my angel? I don't have a problem at all about the Sassa thing. I don't have a problem. My problem is one. When it comes to the minister, Bathabile Dlamini, I don't really understand how the ANC take us. The ANCs take us for granted as the old people. How can you put Bathabile Dlamini? You can't even hear what he's saying. He can't even talk a proper English. You know, I'm better than Bathabile Dlamini. I can be a better minister, for your own information. That's the only my comment that I have. I thank you.
Ma'am Sizakele, are you in the structures of the Women's League?
No.
Now
I resigned from the ANC because of these things that I don't want to talk too much about that.
Okay.
But I've resigned from the ANC. I'm a member of the EFF. That is why I know everything of the ANC. I'm not talking, you know, as if I don't know the structure of the ANC. I know the structure. I've been there for quite a long time. I've resigned there. I'm a member of the EFF now. Okay,
Ma'am Sizakele, thank you very much calling us from Katlehong there. Well, just wanted to say, well, currently, I mean, the ANC is still in charge, so they probably determine who becomes the minister and all that. So chances are maybe very slim that you would be able to enjoy your leadership, Ma'am Sizakele, for now. But it goes back to that question where I was asking whether, given all this, is Sassa led properly?
I've responded to that question.
Yes, you have.
And I can tell you that we've got capable leadership.
Okay.
Under the stewardship of the Chief Executive Officer.
All right.
And I can tell you that that team, it's a very capable team.
Now, is this capable team the same team that got South Africa to the crisis that was resolved at the Constitutional Court?
No, you know, the problem, and what I said earlier, is that as much as we are doing our job, and as much as a contract is coming to an end, you will have those particular competing business interests, right? And you will have those particular, I mean, people sometimes cause unnecessary anxiety.
No, but you see, Pasaka, these are things that you need to tell the public so that the public doesn't, you know, sit there and say, Pasaka Ltsatsi and his people at Sassa, Bathabile Dlamini, and people within social development are doing 1, 2, 3. You need to tell the public that, look, we are trying our best, the problem is Mpo. The problem is so and so, the problem is so and so. So that as the public, maybe we are then able to go to these people and say, but La Costa.
No, true. That's why the Concord made the decision And I'm 100% sure that in our next X committee, some of this issue is going to be part of the agenda. Okay. Because as an organization, obviously, we need to reflect how did we get here to this point, and what are some of the things that, because remember, we have been given 12 months.
Yes.
In the next 12 months, we must not find ourselves in the same situation.
Correct.
So as an organization, we need to make sure that we get organized. But I can assure you, these particular issues are going to be part of our agenda in the next ESCO.
Tabiso, you are in Gauteng. Welcome.
Hello, sir.
Yes, welcome.
My question comes from the side of the born frees of South Africa.
Okay.
So why does our president have to appoint himself as the chair of the committee after all of this happened? Like, didn't he see that this was going to happen in the beginning? Why, after the judgment of the Court, does he have to appoint himself and take matters into his own hands? Why didn't he do it before?
Okay.
Yes.
All right, thanks, Tabiso. I think, well, that question would most probably be answered better by the president, but I want Black Sash to just respond here to say, what does it imply that the president of the country then says, you know what, I'm going to have to chair this thing by myself? Does it therefore mean that it's an acknowledgement that the people that I had tasked the responsibility with have failed?
Thank you, Paul. I think we need to put things into context, and we need to give the necessary weight to what is at stake here. Clearly, this matter is more than just the payment of grants. First of all, our Constitution guarantees, in terms of Section 27(1)(c), that everybody has the right of access to health, food, water, and social security. And if people are unable to assist themselves, social assistance, which is means tested. We've got different kinds of grants. We've got state old age pensions. We've got foster care grants. We've got grants for people who assist others who are in need, disability grants, and many others. That amounts to grants paid every month to 17 million people, 1 in 3 South Africans, through 10.5 million bank accounts. That bank account has been set up by Cash Paymaster Services, by Grindrod Bank, and by Sassa itself. So CPS, Grindrod Bank, and Sassa have set up this card. Let me try and answer the questions in chronological order. The deductions issue, which was the main reason the Black Sash alerted the minister as far back as October, November 2013. That's 3 years ago. Gained traction. We were put onto a ministerial task team. The minister in September 2014 spoke about the illegal deduction. She knew about it. The timeline earlier on your screen showed that there was increasing concerns. We wrote a letter to the minister on the 12th of September 2016. We asked the minister to reply about this insourcing plan, which was the promise that the Constitutional Court made, that Sassa made to the Constitutional Court, and which, by their own admission, they failed to honor. And so the Constitutional Court is within the rights to say, on the 8th of December, they issued a series of directions. And the Chief Justice in those directions, which is a process in the court system, when did the minister know? Who was responsible? What did she do? And that's the issue of not accounting to a promise, almost an oath, that they were going to put into place a certain series of things. They, by their own admission, failed to do that.
Okay.
In our press statements, we said that Sassa has created this emergency themselves, and it is very heartening to see that there is increasing attention being given by more and more senior people. The president appointing himself late is an important initiative. But the president was also quoted in Parliament. He knew about these illegal deductions. He was under oath when he answered in Parliament about these illegal deductions. Okay. So we need to watch very carefully as civil society, as the media, as government, as concerned citizens, that this Section 27 right becomes a reality on the 1st of April.
Otto, you are in Val.
Hi, Mpo.
Welcome.
Yeah, Mpo. Mpo, man, just tell me, man, I am not satisfied with the answer of Mr. Nsati about the deduction.
Okay.
I just want to ask, it must just come to the point, concerning those deductions of the elderly. Did they find the people who deduct, and what are they going to do with those people who deducted the money without the consent of the elderly? Thank you, Mpo.
Otto in the Val, you had the question.
No, I think, I heard the question quite well. We have different situations. We have situations where we have created a platform for our beneficiaries where they are able to come to to our offices, fill certain forms to say, I don't know, I don't have electricity, for an example. I'm just making an example. And 100 Rand was deducted from my account. But we have a situation where people are able to come forth and they're able to do the affidavit and so on. Because I think some of the things which we must make mention, and I think my colleague from Cape Town knows about it, is that in some instances, when we investigate, unfortunately, we find out it's someone very close to the family. Because we are able to check if there's a cell phone number, we're able to trace that cell phone number. If there's any electricity, we're able to trace the box where they... Exactly. You know, it's such a simple thing, but unfortunately, in some instances, we find a situation that a cell phone, it's the cell phone which is owned by the grandchild and so on. However, that's peripheral, because the bigger picture and the bigger problem...
I have a very different perspective.
No, I'll explain that, Elroy. I'm saying it's peripheral, because the bigger portion of it is that, yes, there has been this particular illegal deduction taking place.
Okay, well, just hold. We need to take Francois. Francois, very quickly in the Eastern Cape.
Yes, Paul, good evening, and quickly, okay, I'll put my case through. Paul, it's just a little bit unfortunate that the president should step in now to actually, lead the committee that's been set up to resolve this issue. You know, there's a saying that goes, do not keep a dog and bark yourself. In the first instance, whoever's responsible will put the country in such a crisis, those should have been sacked summarily. And secondly, it's unfortunate that every time a Concord has to come step in and resolve these issues. What about the post office? Why didn't they give a post office a chance, or let the contract, run from month to month until, there's a replacement? That is my input, my friend.
Thank you very much, Francois. Elroy, very quickly.
I'm very sorry to say this, and I have to be very frank. Paseka, you're sounding just like Serge Bellamont right now, because those are the exact words that he used. He blamed families, he blamed grandchildren. He's on tape of having said that, and you're sounding no different to him. So let me put the record straight. Cash Paymaster Services is owned by Net1, 87.5%. Sister companies of Cash Paymaster Services include Manji Mobile Solutions, which is led by the son of Serge Bellamont, Pierre Bellamont. There are other companies called Moneyline, EasyPay, Smart Life. We have evidence before the court. It's a matter of public record that if you dial a certain number, which I'm not going to give, it says, welcome to Umoyo Manji. It asks for the 13 digits of your ID number on an unsecure USSD platform. Then it asks for the last few digits of the Sassa card, and then it asks for your PIN. Where does that information go? I think it's the duty of Cash Paymaster Services and Net1 to prove, as the audits would require and as the court order would show, that those deductions, there are tens of thousands, mainly for airtime, that is solely facilitated either by Manji Mobile Solutions itself, through the platform of Net1 that was inserted on the Grindrod bank account. Electricity deductions also comes off Manji Mobile Solutions, and tens of thousands of people have provided evidence that these deductions happen within the banking system. You talked about loan sharks earlier on. Those are the small sharks. The big sharks are in the tank. And it's disingenuous for Paseka to sound like Serge Bellamont right now.
Well, Paseka, what this gentleman from Black Sash has just outlined is a string of corruption activities.
No, I agree with Elroy. In actual fact, if he had given me a chance to finish my statement, me and him are in the same we agreed that there's a problem with regard to the issues of illegal deduction. So both of us agree.
Okay, but are there any consequences?
There has to be consequences for illegal deduction. In fact, we are very happy.
All right.
About the decision which the Concord has taken.
Okay, no, that's fine. What we're going to do, Elroy, and I want your commitment as well. We'll try and make time next week, before the end of next week, for you to come back so that we can talk about this corruption within the social grant system. Maseka, are you committed?
I'm committed anytime.
All right, that's fine.
In actual fact, me and Elroy know each other very well.
That's fine. Well, we'll have you here, guys. And that was question time for today. Chipinga urikaba mtawa bojo mafela. Zoba weraho, zoba wera na rine. Zimu aba farisa kachino chipinga chikonda obukuma. Nda.